Okay. Should be back. um... Okay, there we go. Oh my god, and because of my streaming software crashing, I wasn't paying attention to when my thing was ending. Whatever. I think I'm gonna wait on this Wraith Fire. I want that Carpenter. And I can get it. Perfect opportunity. Alright, that wasn't bad. I wonder how much progress I'll be able to make today. My rounds are like 20 minutes long, I think. They're getting pretty long, which means I might be doing like 8 or 9 rounds today. How does this strategy work? Basically, my tonic perk, Electric Burst, when it's in the modifier slot, every time I do a full reload, I get 10 seconds of a really powerful knife. So I'm using the ballistic knife to reload without running out of ammo, because I can just shoot the floor and pick up my own knife. And then I knife for 10 seconds. Like this. And you can see the tonic perk is depleting. I have 10 seconds of knifing. And then it goes back to normal, but then all I need to do is reload, and I can keep going. That's cool. Of course. Yeah, so going for around 304 is the goal. Long term. Might take me a while, but I mean, it will take me a while. The question is how much IRL time can I put into this game to make it not take months. M14 sucks. All right, Ben. Welcome back. BO4 was better than BO3, BO2, and BO2. You know that Jake believes that BO4 is better than BO3 and 2. And I can see where he's coming from. I don't entirely disagree. I think it's probably better than BO2. I don't think it's better than BO3. Actually, I should have used my equipment. I'm gonna wait for this Wraith Fire to be recharged and I'm gonna use it. That's a hot take. It is. But I can see why, because if you think about the diversity of the high round strategies, in the sense that, like, on Black Ops 3, more than half the maps are dominated by Deadwire, and just, like, Deadwire training. Whereas on Black Ops 4, yeah, Helion Salvo is, like, overpowered, but you're not using Helion Salvo on every map. You're not even using it on this map. You know? Nice. There's a handful of maps where you don't need the Helion Salvo. And, like, yes, it does help you to speed up your early game, but you're not using the Helion Salvo forever on a lot of maps. Some maps you keep it forever. Some maps, like, you don't need it late game. You know it's a hot take when you say it's a hot take. True. That's nice. I should have picked that up before using the equipment. I'm not gonna have time. That's really unfortunate. That's extremely unfortunate. Not something I considered, but that's a time loss. Oh well. I really wanted this to be extended. There we go. Sexy JZM should do Gorod Krovi. I'm not playing Gorod Krovi. That's not happening. Maybe I will try to 255 it one day, because now 255 is, like, much more doable. I just don't want to take 200 downs like I know I'm going to. I'm not great at that strategy, either one of them. Plus, it's just so annoying. Last time I played Gorod Krovi, I crashed. I don't feel like having that happen again. Would you rather have to high round on Vanguard for at least 100 rounds or World War II zombies? Well, the answer to that is pretty easy because I've only done one of those things. I've only been past 100 on Vanguard and I've never touched World War II zombies, so I'm choosing that. You know I held the world record on Vanguard Shinonuma a few years ago, right? You can use the Mark III slow effect to save your life. You can use the Mark III slow effect to crash your game. Just saying. Yo, hey, how's it going? Holy shit, stop whiffing, please. Sometimes this thing is the worst. How do you usually die on these runs? Oftentimes I die going for power-ups, and also, like, during insta-kills they can overpower you. Sometimes you just get, like, knocked off. Like, you get a weird zombie that spawns and just pushes you off. Like, and sometimes dogs can just, like, really bother you in such a way where, like, they don't die, and if you turn to the dog, you get overwhelmed. It's definitely possible to die in this strategy. I've taken 4 dying wishes already, even though I haven't downed. This strat is fun and made you enjoy BO4. I like how you cycle between all equipment and gums without running all over the place. Yeah, you know, like people say, yeah, you could just use the knife and go AFK. There's a lot of reasons that that's not true, but like, if you use all of your equipment, you're gonna play a lot faster. If you use all of your elixirs, you're gonna play a lot faster. And so, like, yeah, you could just do this and do nothing else. That's gonna be boring and slower, so you wouldn't. What do you have to say about the BO2 Moon and 5? I want to play the BO2 Moon really badly. I think I'm going to for a video that I'm gonna do soon, but I need to figure out how to set it up. I'll tell you the truth. I'm gonna delay the video that I wanted to have out by this week until next week. I'm aiming to have it out on like Tuesday, because tonight, like literally later today, I'm moving out of my apartment. And then tomorrow I'm working all day, Sunday I'm working all day, so I'm probably not gonna be able to stream or work on videos. But then I'm kind of chilling until next weekend. And it's 4th of July, so I'll have some time off. You completed lifeguard training, nice, that's awesome. Through the American Red Cross or a different organization? But yeah, I'm gonna play BO2 Moon soon. I do want to play all the BO2 Chronicles remakes, but Moon is gonna happen first. I have a series of videos that I want to work on that I'm aiming to do in July, but it might sort of be like whenever I can get them out. I want to upload a video on my birthday. My birthday's in like 3 weeks. And I want to upload a video on my birthday saying, hey, it's my birthday, and this is why Moon is my favorite map. And it's going to be a whole breakdown of why everyone's wrong about the features that ruin the map or whatever. You did it through Ellis and Associates? They have a very good training program, which is nice. The one thing I always say be careful of, sometimes when you work in an Ellis facility, if you leave that job, they try to take your certification away from you, or like the job holds your certification. Really ensure that you can bring that certification to another pool, and don't let them take away your certification if you leave that job. Happy birthday? Thank you. It's in 3 weeks, so not yet, not yet. You'll know when my birthday is. You did some testing on transit. You have to do a tech called bus skipping. Yeah, that's what the world record holder said. Bus skipping means you don't ride the bus, ever. You skip the bus. You cannot interact with the bus at any point during the game. I heard there was some, not, I guess not drama, but something happened with Sniper Cat. Apparently his Verrückt game was proven to be spliced. And all of his records got removed from ZWR. And I'm curious about the validity of those claims. I want to know how people figured out it was spliced or what the deal was. Never heard of it. What does bus skipping do? It's just if you interact with the bus at any point in your transit game, you're going to error. Like if you build a part on it, if you open the doors ever, you're going to error. If you never touch the bus for your entire transit game, that is one of the ways to prevent the crash. World record took the bus anyway. Do you think you would ever get... Oh, see, that's what I mean. Do you see how I got knocked down there by clearly one zombie I didn't see? Like, if I'm not paying attention, that's how I died. Do I think I would ever get comfy enough on YouTube where I can quit my job? I wouldn't want to quit my job solely because I own my own business that does lifeguard training and CPR training, and I really enjoy that. The thing about that business is right now I only work 25 hours a week. Like, that business covers all my expenses. So, you know, I'm not in a situation where I have to quit my job to pursue YouTube more than I do, nor am I in a situation where, like, money would be the deciding factor. I am going to put more time into YouTube now that I'm not in school. You want to watch stream right now, but you're at the city in Stockholm? I appreciate you popping in. Of course. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. That being said, am I making a lot of money on YouTube that I wasn't making before? Yes. Do I want to enable channel memberships? I don't know yet. I don't want people to think that I want to do this as a job. I only do YouTube for fun, if that makes sense. Like, I enjoy doing it. The money is nice. The money's really helpful. I'm not gonna deny that, like, having the money is good. But I think right now where I draw the line is, like, I don't mind ad revenue money. Like, I don't care because you're not paying that. But I don't know if I need to start asking for channel memberships yet, or if I'd want to do that, because I don't need that money that badly. But there's also another part of me that's like, if I did do a channel membership sort of thing, I could make more money, I could put more time into YouTube. But my fear is if I start trying to push more content for money, the content might be lower quality. And I would rather have higher quality stuff and not feel the need to get it out as quickly as possible than that. Does that make sense? Channel memberships are kind of like Patreon. Yeah, like, I would hate to be accepting channel memberships and for me to be like, hey, no upload this week because I'm busy. Like, I feel like when I start doing that, that's when I enter job territory. And I'd rather just get stuff out at my own pace. And, like, stream when I can. You know, I'm gonna try to stream more and upload more. Like I said, now that I'm moving out of my apartment, now that I'm done with school, like, I have more time. I have more flexibility to do this sort of stuff. So basically, you like YouTube as a hobby and you want to do quality over quantity? Yeah, exactly. And so I think I don't think that begging for channel memberships is, like, something that will incentivize me to want to do it more. I already want to do it. And like, I also anticipate that the more that the channel grows, the more the ad revenue will grow anyway. You know, I don't need the channel memberships to supplement that more than the ad revenue already is. I'm in a job I enjoy, and YouTube is a hobby I enjoy. I think there's nothing wrong with being able to do both. And since I'm not working a 40-hour week, I'm only working a 25-hour week, and all my expenses are covered, I have the time to do both. In a way where, like, I say this with the understanding that you guys will see an increase in uploads from me regardless. You don't have to give me money for me to do that over the next few months, you know? You got bad news. ZWR says this strat isn't allowed, sadly. Oh no, not ZWR. That sucks. I guess I'll quit now. Hey, I have news for you. Nobody likes ZWR. And also, they're going to legalize it after I do this game. And the reason I know that is because they've changed the rules multiple times in the last few months without consulting anyone. Mostly because world record holders or big players just said so. Oh no, anyway. Mr. Clips, he knows, but he doesn't care. You wish I was the owner of ZHQ. I'm not going to be in a position to be running a website anytime soon. You just hope you get a job you enjoy in the future? Oh yeah, listen, I'm very fortunate. I am, like, immensely grateful for the YouTube audience that I already have. 6,000 people is way more people than I ever thought I would get doing this sort of thing. And at the same time, I'm not, like, just because I'm happy, that doesn't mean I want to not grow the channel more. I think we're going to get a lot more in the near future. I hope so. Because I like having this sort of influence because it means that I get to do fun things on my channel, things that I enjoy, have people watch them, inspire people to play the game, and more importantly, for the first time in my Zombies career, actually have influence over what gets banned and what doesn't. Because I told you guys this story in the last stream, for those of you that were here. The last time they had a vote on this strategy, they said, you first found me from ZWR? I only have one record of mine on ZWR and I didn't submit it. All of my other world records are no longer on there because I don't respect them. You're a good candidate. We need someone to make ZHQ and have ownership of the website. I don't know anything about coding. I could probably run a team, but YouTube is a third, luck, skill, and opportunity. Exactly, right? And I'm kind of going into this with the understanding that, like, I'm entering the YouTube sphere in a dying franchise. In the sense that, like, COD Zombies on Black Ops 6 is, like, awful. And when people don't like Black Ops 6, they usually leave the community. A handful of people are coming back and playing the old games. No, don't apologize, don't apologize. Good old BO4 never understood why this game was hated. I know why this game was hated. I think it was undeserved. This game was hated because when it launched, it had tons of errors and bugs and crashes that never got resolved until after its life cycle. Like, once the next game released, they started doing some serious patches, and this is now the most stable game for high rounds, and the best game for high rounds, but throughout the game's life cycle, it was the worst for high rounds, because crashes were rampant, none of the maps were stable. We're finding out more about the game, more things have been fixed, just not in time for the community at large to see it. Cold War and Black Ops 6 ruined the franchise? Yes. Damn. So, but listen, remember, State of Zombies right now is a controversial topic. Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people who love Black Ops 6. I don't see it. I don't see it. There's a lot of people who think this strategy should be banned. I don't see it. Warzone ruined zombies. When not just Warzone ruined zombies, Warzone ruined Call of Duty, because Call of Duty, and by Call of Duty I mean Activision, have totally changed the monetization of Call of Duty to be what Fortnite did. It's all about skins, it's all about bundles, it's not about producing high-quality maps or high-quality gameplay, it's about selling shitty, like, why the fuck are Beavis and Butthead playable characters now? What do you think about Gorod Krovi? I think it's a really well-designed map from like a Stalingrad is cool, dragons are awesome, the Pack-a-Punch quest isn't difficult, there's a lot of fun Easter eggs and whatnot. High rounds on the map just suck. Like, I uploaded a video on how to get round 100 on that map, I just don't think it's that fun. I don't like taking 27 downs to get to round 100, and I don't like having the ability to take 27 downs. It's a business, video games are pointless, I know. But when it's a franchise that I've cared so deeply about, watching the corporate entity behind it just like suck money out of the player base and ruin the game, doesn't make me feel good. Like, doesn't make me happy. I get that it's a business, but yeah, Battle Pass has just killed it. Oh yeah, so here's what I was saying. You guys might remember that shield strat, meaning camping next to the shield table and using the shield, was banned on all leaderboards on ZWR. Then a player named White Reggie came around, and he played one game of hardcore Ancient Evil. And once he got to insta-kill rounds, he said, hey, I think the best insta-kill round strategy is just to camp next to the shield table. I don't care that it's not allowed. Oh, fuck. He was like, I don't care that it's not allowed, I'm going to do it anyway. And he got to 527. And because he got to 527, and because he did it using a banned strategy, instead of starting a controversy, they just said, hey, by the way, even though nobody voted on this, it's now allowed for hardcore. And we were like, what? Why is it suddenly allowed because he just played a game? That shouldn't be how the rules work. And there are multiple instances of this. There's multiple instances of people playing a game, getting a world record, using something that's not allowed, and then the site saying, okay, well, it's allowed now. That shouldn't be how it works. But what that makes me think is, hey, okay, so all I need to do if I want this to be allowed is beat the world record and then make a video on it. And I have 6,000 subs now. I'm hoping by the time this game is done, I'll have more than that. And I'm gonna upload a video saying, these are all the reasons why it should have never been banned in the first place, and why this was a bad decision. I want it unbanned, and by the way, I beat the world record. And also, the guy who currently holds the world record, Mex, who was just in the chat a few minutes ago, said, like, this should be legal, you have my blessing to beat my record. The guy who used to hold the world record, KXG, said, this should be legal. Like, how many top players need to say that it's legal before it's legal? And most importantly, the last time there was a vote held on this, there was 2 votes that were held in the last couple of years, right? The most recent vote, I voted on it, saying that it should be legal. My vote got deleted, and I knew it got deleted because a ZWR staff member who was on my side messaged me and said, hey man, did you vote? Because I don't see your vote on the form. And I said, yeah, I did vote. And he goes, that's weird, your vote's no longer there. Somebody must have deleted it, and so I voted a second time. And it ended up like only losing by a couple of votes, but more than half the votes were literally discarded. So, rig election, right? And then the second most recent time that we had a vote, there was a big community Discord call, basically. Someone who was going to be the head of zombie community or ZHQ or whatever fucking site said, hey, we're going to host a big call, we're going to host a big live stream, we're going to have every vote, we want everyone to be there. We want all the world record holders to have a say and to be able to speak in the call. There's going to be a big live stream, and we're going to decide on the rules. And so, me being the Tagder Toten world record holder at the time, I had my round 410, nobody was higher than me. I was the world record holder. I joined the waiting room to get into the Discord call, and I heard them say on the stream, "Don't let Mr. JZM in. He's annoying." And my voice was completely irrelevant to that conversation, and Electric Knife was banned right then and there, with only like 4 people actually deciding on that and no vote. What is world record with this strat? I believe 231 is the highest round with this strategy. The highest round on this map is round 304. Said it once and I said it again, zombie YouTubers got ass mad at BO4 because it didn't hit like BO3. They expected to launch their career to the next step and it backfired. Yeah, like the zombies YouTubers were really on top of this game, and they were also the biggest haters. Video games have always been a business. Modern gaming in general is stripped away of consumerism into immense corporate greed and uninspired ideas in favor of min-maxing profits overall. Yep. As with many businesses, right? We kind of live in a corporate environment more so than ever. Right. Motherfucker, I shouldn't have used that. You know, at least my government here in the United States is very, pro-corporations? Is that a way to put it? Is 500 plus achievable with this strat? Oh yeah, 100%. And that's like, I have a whole list of reasons why this should have never been banned. Yeah, exactly, Evelyn. I have a whole list of reasons why this should have never been banned. One of them being, it is the only strat capable of getting to round 500. Possibly the only strat capable of getting 400. Like, you're just not going to get to round 500 with any other strat besides this one. It's just not possible. They crash your game. So, you know, it's very profit driven. Yeah. Listen. Maybe if we lower taxes for billionaires, the money will trickle down, right? That's even though it has not worked ever in the last 50 years since we've been doing it, maybe it'll work this time. Maybe it'll work right now. Use a BO2 patch for high rounds and screw to ZWR and get a world record. That's what I was thinking of doing, low-key. Like, I was gonna play... After I finished this, I was thinking of playing some Nuketown zombies, and I wanted to just use a first box patch. Which they say... Isn't it, like, only allowed for 100 speedruns or something? There's a reason Blundell left. Yeah. I think even he was, like, fed up with Activision and was disappointed with the products that they were putting out because it was very restrictive. Turns out billionaires are really damn good at hoarding their money. Nah, trust. They'll pay their workers more. We're not gonna increase minimum wage though, but if they have more money, they'll be nicer. That's how it's always worked, except never. So here's another fun fact Jake and I learned yesterday. It used to say master spawners are banned across the board, now master spawners are allowed on dog rounds? Since when and why? I think they told him in other co-heads maybe they wanted to change zombies after BO4 hate. Did he stay through the end of BO4, or did he leave kind of part way through? I guess he did stay, because there were much grander plans for BO4 that never panned out, is the problem. And I believe that's another reason why a lot of people don't like the game, is development time was taken away from BO4 in favor of Cold War. But development time was taken away from Cold War in favor of, what, Vanguard? Which hardly got any development time. And remember, for Black Ops 6, they said, hey, guys, we had a 4-year development cycle. This is going to be a great game. Except development time for Black Ops 6 got taken away in favor of Black Ops 7. So they're like clearly and obviously spread too thin. Community patch by ZU is literally the only accepted patch for world records. It catches cheating and splicing. Well, that's what I normally use. But I'm also probably going to play some BO1 Moon with First Box patch. They just make shit up for games they don't even play? Yeah. Give BO4. Bit of a hot take, but I don't actually mind the idea of each map having a save slot that you can use to save the game. It's the one thing BO6 did right in concept. Yes. In a lot of ways, save and quit, I think, is an overall good thing. I think it's going to be kind of too difficult to implement it in a way that it's accepted on the older games. Because there's a certain extent of, like, on these older games, getting a power outage or, like, having a game crash or whatever is simply a fact of, like, the environment that you're playing the game in, if that makes sense. Like, that is a factor that you have to consider when you go for a world record. Is you could get a power outage and have your game end. Obviously, there are some ways around that, but not on every game. And not on every console, but... Like, if I have a power outage, this game ends. It's on console, so I can't be immune to power outages like I could on PC, if it worked on PC. Diabolical profile picture. You have the Zeo patch. Seeing patches not being allowed for high rounds blows you away. Yeah. Well, it says first box patch is doesn't it say first box patch is allowed for 100 speedruns but not for high rounds or something? Which is weird because I think it's the opposite on Black Ops 3. It's allowed for high rounds, but not for round speed runs. And so it's like the game, the rules aren't even consistent across games. And that's one thing that, like, I think is quite unforgivable, is like the rules between games don't even make that much sense. Because I think they just assume that everyone only plays one game, but that's just not true. I play Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Cold War. Patches in general, just first box. I was talking about first box. I failed to see why this should be banned when things like tag windows, one window strat are okay. Same with most people. Most people don't think this should be banned. It was a very select few people that wanted this to be banned, and it was people who already held the world record and didn't want their records to be beaten. Yeah, but they're all different communities, but there's massive overlaps. There's so many people that play multiple games. Like, obviously the top doesn't always overlap, but you can't just make rules for people in the #1 slot. You have to make rules for the whole community. Are you into storyline or not really? I am up until the end of BO4. Like, I did pay very close attention throughout World at War through BO4. Cold War and Black Ops 6, I don't really know what's going on. I know that Richtofen's back and he's going after the Sentinel artifact and all that was ruined. I feel like this strat should be re-legalized with Wilda's 600 tag game approved knifing like this. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't say this is banned because it's brain dead and then allow more brain dead strategies. Oh yeah, I think your game's legit, Evelyn. I do plan to beat your world record, respectfully, but... Bangala Noah, thanks for the sub. Yeah, and like I said, you know, we can talk about it, but I think the thing about cultivating a YouTube community is most people in my chat, like, do agree with me that this should be allowed. And it's sort of why you guys are here. Some people come in and say, like, oh, isn't this banned? Most people genuinely just don't know. Nobody has come in here and said, quit your game, you suck, yet. Least? I just don't understand. Unclear, thanks for the sub. Okay, hold on. I just don't understand by what metric they're basing Cold War Black Ops 6 supposed success on. I don't know either. I think they're just lying. Like, they literally said that Outbreak on Cold War was the most played mode in years. And I'm like, what? I just don't believe that. Can Evelyn be the owner of ZHQ? Evelyn might end up making another site that I will rally support behind, but I obviously don't want to put too much pressure on her. Hold on. I think they should have continued the Chaos storyline because that was peak. Rather than forcing a Dark Aether storyline with a bit of Chaos. Yeah. Oh, this is round. Least favorite announcer in COD. I think, is this a dog round? I think it might be. Least favorite announcer. What are my options? Okay, so it's Sam throughout all of World at War and Black Ops 1 until Richtofen took over for Black Ops 2. There's alternate Sam in Origins. There is... What other announcers are there? There's the High Priest of Chaos on the Chaos maps. There's the Avogadro on this map. There's Sam on the rest of Black Ops 4. And then there's some other voice that's on Cold War and Black Ops 6. Who's my least favorite announcer? Probably... I mean, I might say the Avogadro on this map. I think the Cold War announcer is my least favorite. If I'm choosing between Sam Richtofen, High Priest of Chaos, and Avogadro, I'm choosing Avogadro. Yeah, but Forsaken has the same, like, voice lines as the other maps. We don't technically know who it is on Cold War. Really. Could have to do with Chaos, technically. Hey, Dr. Taco Jr., quit your game. Alright. It's just hard to expect consistency from CWR when it's under new ownership every 6 months. Yeah, they replace their staff team constantly. And the reason they replaced their staff team is because the guy who owns the domain is, like, the most hated member of the community that most people just don't know. Most people don't know who he is and why he's hated, but he's also, like, an outright enemy of the community. Wings of Redemption. Not Wings of Redemption, Wings of Oblivion. Not to be confused with Wings of Redemption, who is not a zombies person, but also not good for the community they're a part of. Hate to be a glazer, but BO4 actually looking kind of good on reflection. A lot of people who have gone back to play Black Ops 4 after the meh Cold War and Black Ops 6 cycles that we've had have been saying this game is slept on, because it is. It was overhated when it came out. It's a much better and much polished game now than it was when it launched. The high round strategies are actually more interesting than it is on the Cold War and Black Ops 6. Please stop whiffing. Got him confused with Wings of Redemption. Yeah, Wings of Oblivion and Wings of Redemption are both not good people, but Wings of Oblivion is the zombies guy. Wings of Redemption is a different guy. Is there a way to take away his ownership of the site? Legally, no. Low-key aged better than Black Ops 3? I agree with that. Black Ops 3 would not be as good if it weren't for Chronicles. I'ma say it. Like, if Black Ops 3 ended on the 6 maps it had, plus Dead Ops, would not be regarded nearly as highly as it is now. Chronicles is the sole reason Black Ops 3 is regarded as peak. And if Black Ops 3 wasn't, or if Black Ops 3 didn't have Chronicles, then the peak game would be Black Ops 1. Back. All the people who made Zombies great have left the studios. Now it's just Corpo Slop. Yep. And that was before all the AI crap. Like, I feel like a lot of the story and a lot of the design ideas are just AI these days. Really, really shameful. Okay. Let me use this immediately so that I at least have a chance to pick this up and get some use out of it. That was about to go away, I think. BO4 maps on BO3 systems, but listen, if they brought back the old perk system and even like gums, it probably would be slightly better. I agree. But the engine is quite similar. Like, every Black Ops 3 map from Zetsubo onwards was built on an early version of Black Ops 4's engine. What's the limit for the Die-Wise world record? I have no idea. I would have to, kind of, like, look into the science. It's a shameful, but the people that make it are shameless? Yeah. Like I said, we live in a very shameless, very corporate world. There's a lot of people at the top who just care about money. The wealth disparity between the 99% and the 1% is greater than it ever has been. And then the 1% is not only just people, it's corporations like Activision that are worth almost $1 billion that are selling slop and then raising the prices. And people just eat it up. Some people like me, I regret my purchase. I can't unpurchase the game now. I'm not going to purchase the next game unless I see that there's significant improvements. I admit it, I made a mistake buying Black Ops 6. It's absurd. Yep. It's unfortunate, you know? I don't like seeing a game franchise that I really enjoy die because of corporate slop. Why doesn't another company make a zombies copy? Some people have, but when you're not using the Call of Duty brand name, you're just not going to be as big, I think. Any game after BO3 and before Cold War are slept-on games. Infinite Warfare and World War II. I mean, Infinite Warfare is slept on. World War II, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, really. A lot of people comment on my videos saying, why don't you cover non-Treyarch? I just don't know anything about the games. And I don't want to, like, I don't want to start making zombie science videos saying, what's the highest round on Infinite Warfare, when I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. I have no idea who I would ask to even find out that information. They did, but who cares about Skur Ritual? Yeah, that was one big one for sure. You know, and it will draw this attention. Yeah, I just saw your message. Let me check. Hold on. I saw that. I'm excited about that. I hope you realize. Well, Jake, no, I didn't see that specifically, but Jake showed me the other screenshot. I won't reveal anything here, unless you insist I do, but I won't yet, because I want you to be done, and then I can advertise it for you. Impossible high round on Spaceland? Yes, I know about that. Spaceland is no longer possible to beat because of errors. Thanks, Nuke. You know, yes, I think that is much better, actually. I really do. I'm not expecting Treyarch to ever fully revert to older mechanics, but if they could just give us mod tools again. Mod tools would be really nice, but also... What is world record? World record's around 304, so I still have a ways to go. Nazi Zombies Portable is so damn good. I haven't played it. I'm assuming you're not talking about, like, the Call of Duty World at War Zombies and Black Ops 1 Zombies. I'm assuming you mean a different game. You mapped for NZP? Nice. I'll have to give it a try then. Chad, it's up to you. If you want to see what Evelyn just sent to me, I will show it. Let me use this first. That's actually huge. Okay, ready? So this is the site. This is the, like, oh, it's not, this is just a screenshot, so I can't show you, can't click. But this is what it looks like. It's right now it's going to be a World at War based leaderboard, but there's obvious potential to expand. This is what the homepage looks like right now. I think it's going to be tweaked a little bit, but simple. Leaderboards, Discord, and resources, which would be like patches, timers, tools to help you. That could even end up being sort of like a Zombie Kiss, where there's tutorials on how to get high rounds, there's guides, things like that. All that sorts of stuff to make it more accessible to the community. The homepage was vastly changed. I look forward to seeing the new one. Hold on. Okay. Don't drop an insta-kill, please. Make a page for IW. The rules in ZWR are so buns. Yeah, and like we were saying, there's an unbeatable world record on Infinite Warfare because of Spaceland. It's a shame. Most people don't realize it. I didn't realize it until people told me. Baseline high round board should get wiped, honestly. Probably not every record, but yeah, I think it needs, probably needs a clean slate. Not that anyone did anything wrong, it's just that there was a patch that significantly altered how the game works and makes it impossible now. And, you know, sometimes that's just how that goes. Why is it unbeatable? There was, since that game was played, there's a new patch that was released for Infinite Warfare that kind of breaks the game and makes it so, like, your game just crashes. You just can't beat it anymore. In case anyone is wondering how you can die with this strategy, this is how. Yup, what the fuck was that? I used my grenade launcher at them, and it killed 0 of them in front of my face. That's how you die with this strategy. That's assuming I didn't die just going to pick it up in the first place. Grenade launcher fail. Yeah, grenade launcher fails on with this, with the overkill are just like, they're like 50% of the time. They're right in front of my face and it's failing and I dying wish. And what am I supposed to do? Not pick up that full power and lose time? That's not happening. I'm going to pick that shit up even if I take a dying wish. Alright, that's number 5 for this game. Which is better, Dying Wish or Juggernog? Dying Wish, actually. Having unlimited downs without actually going down, much more of a buff than Juggernog ever gave you. Like, it's far more of a crutch perk than Juggernog ever was. People speculate is because the alligator trap doesn't give points anymore and created a bug with it. I wouldn't know the specifics. Getting a little bit of frame lag, which is interesting.
I do wish I had time to assess your wounds, but I have to cause more. Guten Tag, America.
Do you know how many hit markers does the Vesper cause when killing a spider on Zets? Is it not just like one hit marker per shot on the spider? Like, is it not one hit marker per bullet or something? I'm pretty sure the way you're supposed to kill spiders is by reloading with Electric Cherry, because it always kills them instantly, and so you only get one hit marker. We want to get rid of crutch perks, adds Dying Wish. Yeah. That's I think one of the worst design changes that this game had is like, let's get rid of crutch perks, but let's make some perks useless and some just stupidly overpowered. Dying Wish is a must for basically every category in the game except for some speedruns. And like, again, even if you're speedrunning one down and you're restarting. And so sometimes people take Dying Wish anyway, depending on the category. Zombie Menace's Spaceland game isn't the posted world record anymore for some reason. I have no idea. BO4 is a funny game. Do you think this? Yes. Depends what you mean by funny. I enjoy BO4. Did they unban this strategy? No, but they will. They will when I'm done, that's for sure. I'm the only person who has ever figured out what happens when you upgrade the EMC pistols in Infinite Warfare. You get an extra pellet for every zombie in your crosshair. I don't even know what the EMC pistols are. Now it's showing the world record for space is 180. That's much lower than it was before. Wasn't it like 256? Imagine if there was an Any-Gums high round category for BO3. I believe, to a certain degree, that there should be an any % category for BO3, where round robin and power vacuum are allowed. The only reason I don't, like, care about it that much is because every single record would just be 255. Like, it wouldn't really do anything, if you think about it. You know what I mean? Would make sense considering the alternative is practically the same thing with the trench gun. Yep. And especially if you look at the Tag Der Toten world record, it's literally just a knife. The new hardcore world record, it's just a knife strat, but without electric burst. So like, you know. Listen, any % high round, I'm not opposed to it. It's just that every record would be 255, like hundreds of 255s. What I would be mildly interested in is any % 255 speedruns. Like, okay, round robin and power vacuum are allowed. Go crazy. What is the fastest we could possibly 255?
No, there was a time
Is anyone at least a little bit interested? I'd be a little bit interested. It'll be free records for people? Yeah, sure, but like, again, you have to understand from the community perspective. People are going to consider the world record to be whatever they think the world record should be. The most popular categories are going to be the classics and megas, and to a certain degree, no-gum. Like, it's going to be a much less popular category. Yeah, 255 speedruns with any percent? Why not? Because you can come up with more creative strategies. Well, more creative being better places to camp with,
even in death.
you know, better places to camp with power vacuum. But you know, any percent should have been a category years ago. Any percent would have solved all the issues we've ever had. Oh, you think electric knife should be banned? Simple. Have a separate any percent category where electric knife is allowed. See which one gets more submissions. See which one people care about more. That's all it is. You don't have to ban it and ostracize a bunch of people. Just think power vacuum would be a detriment in the long run if you can't force drops to spawn whenever you need a max ammo. That's the thing, is like on every map you would need to find a way to force a drop to spawn and then chain insta-kills and death machines into each other infinitely. That's the idea.
Don't mind me, just clearing out the riffraff.
Think splitting any percent like that defeats the purpose of any percent? I don't think it should be split now. I think it should have been split when all these issues were being decided on. Because, like, the way I see it, okay, let's say it is August of 2019. This map has just come out, and we're deciding if this strategy should be legal. That's when you split the category. Say, okay, those of you that think it should be allowed, who want to high around using it, you get to submit here, and those of you that don't want to use it, you submit here. See which one gets more submissions. I guarantee you, the category where it would be banned, nobody would submit to. And you give it some time like that, and then once they realize, oh hey, everyone just likes playing this way, that's when you get rid of the other category. Or, if they're submitted to equally, you keep them both. Well, I'm saying any percent would be electric knife is allowed, and then you would have a no electric knife category, which, like I said, this would have had to have been done when Black Ops 4 was the newest game. Like, you can't do it now because fewer people are playing the game, so you'd get less submissions. It'd be a worse test. Unless you had a ton of people all at once play Alpha Omega and do this. Is G-spawn error a thing for drops specifically? It can be if there's too many drops on the map. What would other high round strat for this map be? The other high round strat is basically the same thing as this, except you use the upgraded trebuchet. And you have to have Pack-a-Punch on, so it's like literally slower, like 50% slower. Like, this is under 12 seconds a horde. The other strat's like 17 to 18 seconds a horde. Plus you have Nova 6 bombers and jolting jacks spawning, and it just sucks. Ah. The only Zay, you make content too? Hold on. Some apps are just set up in such a way where it's faster to not turn on power. Yeah, like, people have always said, oh, this strategy should be banned because... People have always said, this strategy should be banned because you don't turn on Pack-a-Punch. And that's like, you're basically going around Treyarch's intentions by not turning on Pack-a-Punch to make the strategy work. And I say, oh, okay. Kino der Toten, Shadows of Evil, Die Rise. Like, what do you want? Tag der Toten. Tag der Toten, you don't turn on Pack-a-Punch to get a world record. So what's the record I'm going for? Round 304. Long ways away, but gotta start somewhere. Alpha Omega, woo! Am I streaming at a reasonable time for you? I have like another hour and a half to stream, maybe a little less. So I'm not gonna get that much in today, but I'll have some time. Call of the Dead. Well, Call of the Dead, you don't play no power. Right? Yeah, no, Call of the Dead, you turn on power. Or is there something I'm not aware of? I don't really care that much in my chat. I do fully understand that most other streamers won't appreciate, like, talking about other creators in their chat. Or, like, because it's sort of considered self-advertising. I don't really care. This is a question from me to you, Zay. What content do you make? I wanna see. Because if it's interesting, I'll subscribe to you. See, now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, firstly, before I do that... No bother, seriously. No, instead you abuse barricade spawns? Yeah, but you still have the power on. You don't do it no power. What would the strat be for Kino if you can't use traps? On Kino you don't keep the power off, you keep Pack-a-Punch disabled. Well, not disabled, you don't go to Pack-a-Punch. Because you don't go into the first room. Alright, let me do a few things. Firstly... You mainly play Infinite Warfare zombies, do a lot of Easter egg speedruns. You've been doing it for almost 5 years. Nice. Go to channel. Nice. I'm subbing. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, here's what I was gonna show. Alright, part 2. Here's the main page. So these are bigger, like I mentioned in the last stream. This is resources, leaderboards. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. That's great. Is there any other way to extend reset on mob? Not to my knowledge. Or at least not anything that we're not already doing that I'm aware of. Uh-oh, there's a nuke in the way. Panic, zombies. Well, no, I doubt that they intended for that either, you know? I don't think it should be banned. I think it's a really creative way to progress the rounds. So much cleaner than ZWR? Yep. ZWR is kind of a mess. It's like, yeah, you know, yeah, we could say, oh, it's not something the developers intended, but like, insta-kill rounds aren't something the developers intended. Yes, but I think it similarly applies to the non-power rule. Yeah. It's, well, you know, power's on, Pack-a-Punch isn't. The argument against this strategy that I'm playing right now is, oh, why should it be allowed if you don't turn on Pack-a-Punch to do it? You're circumventing Treyarch. And it's like, okay, there's 4 other maps at least where you don't turn on Pack-a-Punch. And think about all the other strategies where you circumvent Treyarch's intentions. There's tons of them. I guess we're saying the same thing. You're right. GG. Did they even entity test mob fully? Depends on your definition of fully. I believe the reason that mob doesn't have carpenters and the reason that some barriers don't have buildable windows is because they did test, like, what happens if you have every single window unbuilt and then you grab a carpenter. It, like, crashed your game, I'm pretty sure, because it was just far too many windows to build at once. I've been offered CWR staff positions plenty of times. One time I took it briefly because I was like, all right, but I was on the staff for maybe 30 days and I was like, I just want to play. I don't want to watch. Also, there was one game that I accepted where, like, I scrubbed all the footage. And I was like, hey, nobody at any point hit the Gobblegum machine. I watched all of it like you're supposed to. And so this is a no-gums record. And they were like, yeah, but one person had a mega equipped to their class, so it counts as megas. And I'm like, but nobody hit the Gobblegum machine ever. I watched all the footage. And they were like, you can't know that. I'm like, but I do know that. I watched all the footage. What are we supposed to be doing? What's the issue with ZWR? Lots of things. One being that they don't actually review the footage of any of the games that you get. I think it's cool to see the community break and optimize maps. So do I. That's why I like doing the videos that I do. I upload a lot of unique strategies and cool secrets, exploits, things like that. I don't need that carpenter. Breaking the maps is half the fun of high rounding? Exactly. Knowing that we are hitting points that the devs never expected us to get to is the coolest thing about going for high rounds. Pushing the limits of a game, it's the same as like any other speedrunning category for any game, except it's just not a speedrun. It's like how the Tetris kill screen was just hit for the first time. Like the highest round possible in Tetris was just beaten. That's a big deal. It's like when a COD Zombies record gets beaten, we should be celebrating. We shouldn't be going, oh, half the shit that they do isn't legal, ban everything. Think Die-Rise can be pushed further if we find that new Trample Steam strat video? Yeah, I want to see that. I need to look into how it works. It's a slow run? true.
Guten Tag, American Cookies. You should probably just accept me as your master.
No insta-kill. Don't drop an insta-kill. Testing everything that affects reset? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what has been tested. Hey, Ninja, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not sure what's been tested on Mob of the Dead. You would have to ask one of the people that plays that map more.
Feast on me! I dare you!
Listen, I have a very, let's say, liberal stance on what should be banned. I think, I truly believe this is going to be really controversial. It is. But, hear me out. If anyone can find the new Trample Steam strat video, let JZM know. If someone finds it, I will play Die Rise and I will make a tutorial on Die Rise high rounds. I'm gonna have to practice the shit out of that strategy, but I'm down to, like, turn it into a digestible tutorial for you guys. Okay, this is a controversial take, but hear me out. I believe nearly every glitch or exploit should be allowed. Nearly all of them. Because here's why. Think about every single out-of-map, God mode, spot you can think of. On any game. Think about every, like, exploit to like, get yourself invincible or whatever. How many of them would actually be used in a record? You wouldn't be outside the map in God mode because it would certainly be slower than whatever strategy you would play normally, and you wouldn't beat the record. You wouldn't, and half of the glitches you can't get out of, meaning how would you get ammo? There's only a very small handful of glitches that would actually be, like, used and abused, and these are the only ones that I think should be banned. Unlimited Specialist on Shadows of Evil, like, you shouldn't be able to chain the upgraded sword into itself infinitely. Although, that being said, it still probably would be, like, not as effective as the current strategy. The round skip on BO1 and BO3 Moon, that should be banned. And the infinite ammo with, like, aftertaste / near-death experience where you down yourself and you get a refill on your third weapon, that should be banned. Would it remove the challenge and fun from a high round? Yes, it would. That's another reason why nobody would use it. But also, like, you're not gonna beat the world record. You're not gonna get a high round doing that. Like, it's not gonna work. Oh, is my video over? That's crazy. Okay. It just wouldn't. Anyway. What do you do to avoid burnout on high rounds or from getting extremely bored? I do a few things. For one, streaming actually helps a lot. Like, when I get to just hang out with you guys and talk to chat, like, I've been streaming for an hour and a half, it doesn't feel like it. And, like, yeah, you can argue that certain things shouldn't be allowed for, like I shouldn't be allowed to get into a God mode spot, get to round 100, and submit that to the leaderboards. I get that. And that's, like, I'm not saying that these things should suddenly become allowed. I'm just saying, if we want to talk about world records, they're not going to use any of those things. The only things they would use if they were allowed to is, like, getting infinite ammo, getting infinite specialist, and round skips.
Just so you
Anyway, what do I do to avoid fatigue? If I'm not streaming, I like to play and I will watch Netflix at the same time, or I will watch YouTube videos. Like, I'll literally play for a couple hours, throw on a movie while I'm playing. But the other thing I do, and this is the most important piece of advice, pace yourself. If you feel yourself getting bored, hit the pause button and come back the next day. Some of the world records that I've gotten in the past, I would like get on, play for 30 minutes, get off, play the next day. Or take a couple days off. Or like don't feel like you have to rush, because you literally don't. As long as you don't have a power outage, and as long as you're not playing online and you disconnect, you have unlimited time. Just pause and like come back when you're not burnt out. What a lot of people do is they'll say, okay, I'm burnt out, I quit, and they'll end the game. I don't end the game. I just say I'm gonna pause and come back tomorrow. And say, like, if I really want this record, it's gonna take time. What maps do I think are the hardest to hit 100? I'm gonna rattle... okay, here's what I'll do. I'm just gonna rattle some off that I think are more difficult than other maps in the game they come from. Like, Verrückt on World at War is harder than the rest of them. It's still easy compared to modern games, but... BO3, Shang, Verrückt, Shinonuma, and even Nacht if you're not running Megas are kind of the worst. In case you're wondering which 4 maps I've never gotten to 100 on Black Ops 3. Let's see. Black Ops 2, the survival maps, obviously, are far more difficult than anything else in the game. Besides that, transit can be annoying. But really, you know, Town, Farm, Bus Depot, Nuketown are by far the hardest to get round 100. Call of the Dead is the hardest to get round 100, sort of. Asterisk, too much to explain with that one. Knock just takes a long time. It's not hard. Yeah, but it's like... I'm not... And even Black Ops 1 Knocked, I'm not spending 30 hours to get to round 100. Beast without Director's Cut? Yep. Beast without Director's Cut. I don't know about Exo Zombies or World War II. I couldn't tell you. Black Ops 4, I believe the hardest is 9? Let me think about that. Not Voyage, not Alpha, not Tag, not Dead of the Night, not Ancient Evil, not Blood, not Classified. Yeah, I think it's 9 is the hardest, but 9's not that hard. It is just harder than the rest. 9 is generous, because you have like 3 to 4 rounders on all the special rounds. So often you play 2 rounds of zombies, and then you get another special round, and then 2 rounds, and then a special round. And the worst it can be is 3 rounds. 5, yeah, on Black Ops 1, it's Knocked. Verrückt is quite difficult. 5 is not as difficult as people make it out to be, but the setup is actually, like, if you don't know what you're doing in the setup, it's quite difficult. 5 is a map I want to play more, that I will get around to. I know Jermaine Cubes, the current world record holder, posted, or is he the current world record holder? He posted a good tutorial on how to set up on 5, I believe yesterday, which, if you're looking to get better at 5, check that out. 5, it depends on the strat. Like, you're gonna have a hard time beating the world record, but 100 is easier than people make it out to be. World at War is Shore Reich for hardest high rounds. And then Cold War, it's Firebase C. Black Ops 6, it's Terminus, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. But even then, those maps are like not anything compared to any previous game. Those are the maps that I'm thinking about. Zetsubou's not difficult, but Zetsubou is annoying to set up on. Gorod Krovi is difficult, but you get unlimited downs. So, sort of like, you can do it, it's just annoying. Like, I had 27 downs to 100 last time I played Gorod. Sure, survivability is hard, and Reich is hard from erroring so much. Most boring zombie maps to round 100, Treyarch and non-Treyarch. Most boring. Depending on your strategy, Call of Dead. If you're playing co-op, it's not boring. Transit. Any survival maps. Most boring. Gorod. Revelations actually can be boring to 100. Knocked on all the versions. This map? Not even this map. This map is less boring than something like Rev. Cold War doesn't count because it's too easy. Most boring. I would say Dead of the Night.
But I have to cause more. There was a time you and I were...
Transit. I said Transit. Die Rise? I wouldn't say Die Rise is boring. The Sliquifier is fun. Too liberal stance on the records, but the idea behind is cool. You get what I'm saying, right? It's like, I don't think that's what the rules should actually be. But I think that we as a community are far too strict about what we allow. And I think we really need to consider what is going to, like, completely ruin the meta. And the answer is, like, out-of-map glitches, or, like, the answer is most out-of-map glitches technically wouldn't. The only things that would ruin it are Unlimited Specialist, round skips, Power Vacuum, and Round Robin. And, like, and unlimited ammo, and that's it. And I guess things like unbreakable equipment, if those glitches even still exist. Let's see, what else is boring? Yeah, Dead of the Night's really boring to get to round 100. Tagged or Toten, depending on what you're interested in. I think Tagged or Toten's not boring because it's fast. Voyage, maybe. I don't think Voyage is that boring. Die Rise is just sitting in a corner for 3 hours? Yeah, but the Sliquifier is fun to use. Isn't this strat banned? Nope. For me, it's Shino, Noct, Dead of the Night. Whatever map that has a 2 spawn or 1 spawn is basically Rev. Depends. I think Rev is more boring because the Sliquifier is fun and unique, and you still need to pay attention. The Apothicon Servant is turn your brain off for 15 seconds and then plant down Ragnaroks and turn your brain off for 20 seconds and then repeat. You know, you always have to pay attention when you're using the Sliquifier because the chain could end at any point, but you know exactly when the Apothicon Servant's going to end. You know exactly when your Ragnaroks are going to end. You don't have to look at the screen until those happen, and then you just alternate. Every BO6 map? Yes, every BO6 map. Also, Forsaken? Yeah. Hey, Ruve1, how's it going? Isn't this shitty-ass map basically turn off your brain infinitely? Indefinitely no. Like I do have to pay attention when I'm using the Specialist because of how often it can whiff. I like to pay attention to my equipment and my elixirs. Insta-kills make this strat interesting because I get 60 seconds of insta-kill. With, is the knifing portion of the strat brain off? Yeah. Am I enjoying myself right now? Yeah. Do I still think it's a not great map? Yeah. Do I think this should be banned? No. What round am I aiming for? Round 304 at least. Hey, Wizard. I'm good, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm chilling for now. I'm moving out of my apartment tonight. So I'm gonna pick up the U-Haul in like 2 hours, and then I got some stuff to move. Vanguard and Exo zombies. Exo is just spamming traps because all the weapons drop off past 30. Vanguard is Vanguard's Cold War. Listen, how are the plans for Call of the Dead with Jake? Trust me, it is going to happen. We're gonna grind until we get that world record. The only difficult thing is we're just kind of coordinating our schedules right now. This weekend is just busy for me. This is gonna be my only stream until Monday. But, like, once we're both available, we're gonna be grinding the hell out of it. Once Monday comes for me, I have much more free time than I did the last few weeks, so. This map should be banned from existence. I think it's not a good designed map. I think this strategy's not that bad, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna do Call of the Dead soon. You will probably see a stream of Call of the Dead like next week. The Tomb is... Oh yeah, the Tomb. The Tomb is the worst. The Tomb is Rev, Tag. Tag is Rev, but with one spawn. Die Rise is Rev, but with verticality. Well, the thing, Die Rise isn't Rev because once you get to round 100, the difficulty goes from 0 to 100. Like, the strategy on Rev is way harder after round 100. So, like, you have to know what you're doing, unless you're stopping at round 100, but most people aren't. But, like, the Tomb, I'm pretty sure you're literally just staring at the wall. Which actually is more Dead of the Night, where you're staring at the floor. Yeah, like you can't say Die Rise is brain dead when as soon as you hit round 101, the difficulty amps up to 11. I can argue that Zets is technically Rev if you use the one spawn strat. There's no known way to get to 100 without breaching, is the thing. It's like you can use the one spawn, but you're gonna have to switch every few rounds when you breach and then fix it, you know? Nice usage there, genuinely. I can argue that Zets... Oh wait, I already read that. Yeah, I don't know. What's the most boring maps to high round? All of Black Ops 6 equally. Followed by most of Cold War. Followed by Dead of the Night. I don't know. World of War Shino is pretty boring? I don't think so. It's just easy. Because, like, it's the one map where you can reach around 11,000. Zets is not Rev, I take that back. You enjoy Rev and Tag, not because it's easy. Like I said, I think that you know, every map varies in difficulty, and I think that's good design. There should be some hard maps and some easy maps. And I think that, like, you know, even in a situation like the map I'm playing right now, sometimes it's fun to just turn your brain off and say, I'm gonna chill and slay some zombies. I like this. I know that I'm basically turning my brain off and chilling, but I'm having fun, and I'm hanging out with you guys. Outbreak is the most boring? Yes. Does that even count as a map? Cold War Outbreak? Yeah. Can I get an insta-kill, please? Ascension is also boring. Yeah, Ascension, when you're not camping power, can be pretty boring. Camping power is the most fun part of Ascension. Shino's very time-consuming just to maybe crash, just trying to get world record. Yeah. I think Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 Shinonuma arguably are more boring. Black Ops 1 is probably the least boring of the three. I think Black Ops 3 Shinonuma can really drag on. Hey, Jake. I was gonna say, Jake is playing Ascension right now. Zombies used to be about getting the T-gun out of the box and turning your brain off. Well, sure, but like, if you want a high round, you're not turning your brain off on Black Ops 1 Kino or Ascension. Like, you're gonna do a trade out in the 50s. Or use traps or whatever, you know. I'm oversimplifying, but you get the point. No, you died again? I saw you streaming yesterday. I was working yesterday, and I got off of work, and it said, like, stream ended 5 minutes ago. Jake, we have to plan when we're gonna do Call of the Dead again. Tried swapping to your Weevil and you're stuck for some reason. Rev with Power Vacuum and Round Robin. Oh yeah, you turn your brain off. You shoot the Apothecant Servant at the floor for 5 rounds and then you hit the gun machine. I'm gonna die. Okay, I guess I'm just a baller like that. You suck with Overkill? Overkill sucks. Yeah, fuck BO3, we need to play Call of the Dead. Yeah, let's do it. Here's the thing. I could probably do this Sunday at like 6 p.m., which isn't going to be my ideal time because I will be just coming off of working for 10 hours. So I might not want to do Sunday, but like if that works for you, I will do it because I want to do it. Don't hold a Wraith while one is recharging. What do you mean? Look, like, how does that not kill? Okay. There we go. Sweet spot right there. That's what I'm looking for when I use this thing. I didn't realize that. Like I said, I'm just chilling playing this game. I'm not... I don't need to be overpowered. No AAT's ass on every map except for Kino. Revelations. Any new videos in the works? Yes. I have a video that I did want to get out this week, but it will be out next week. And the reason I'm delaying it is because I want it to be perfect. It's going to be a follow-up to my last video, except instead of what's the highest round possible within the engine, it's going to be what's the highest round humanly possible. And it's going to be a whole breakdown of how the 628 on Tag der Toten happened, how much further we could push the map, and also like what the highest humanly possible map round is on other games. Back at the hotel? Welcome back, Mex. I have no AATs, just trading a few servants. Yeah. No AAT megas. How about that? Of course. Yeah, that should be out. I'm hoping to get it out on Tuesday. Might be hopeful of me, but it will be out next week. You like trap maps for the BO1 flavor? Yes. You ready? You want to see when this strat goes turbo mode? Look at this. This is the part of the game I look forward to. This is where I turn my brain on. Neuron activation right here. The 60-second insta-kill.
I shall have to do some bullet shopping before long.
Nice, and then I get to do this.
I thoroughly enjoyed the day.
Whew, there we go. That's the most fun part. You save so much time during those. Okay. How long is a round now? About 20 minutes. Some of my rounds are like 19, but it's probably about to be 20. If I was goated, I would buy ammo instead of reloading. Buy ammo every single time. Least favorite Treyarch Zombies game? Black Ops 6. Next question. Just which the DE traps worked? Well, only the gate trap doesn't work. The other ones do. 9, no shield, and time slip modifiers hard AF. Imagine Power Vac and Temporal Gift on 2-player. Isn't that basically the speedrun strat with Megas? Just like Power Vacuum and you sit there? Bad weapons don't necessarily make a bad game. Yeah, Black Ops 1 has a lot of terrible weapons. I think that's what makes Black Ops 1 so fun, is that so many of the weapons are just shit, and so hitting the box actually feels like a gamble. Black Ops 3, kind of everything's workable. Some, like the snipers and launchers kind of suck, but I'm never hitting the box in Black Ops 3 saying, oh, if I get a bad weapon, I'm going to die. The death ray only kind of works. Yeah, it hardly stays on, and it doesn't kill everything at once. But it does kill. It doesn't duplicate zombies like the gate trap. Struggles to kill if you have a whole wave? Well, yeah. Ray gun is the worst wonder weapon. Winter's Howl is better. On Black Ops 4, that is true. Should you get the Ancient Evil Hardcore No Perks Megas World Record to secure your sweep? Sure. After Call of the Dead.
Auf Wiedersehen, suckers! Oopsie! More views than I realized.
Yeah, the BO1 Winter's Howl is quite bad. You can get it in like 2 days. Oh, it's 157? Yeah, so do it this weekend. Be done by Sunday or Monday, and then we can play. Oh yeah, it's Uranus. Oh, because it's Megas. So yeah, you could do that if you want. Jake needs to get back on Rev. Yeah, Jake doesn't have a Rev 255 yet. Jake is a 254. I have a Rev 255. JZM, is there a full game of Blasters game on Die Rise? There should be. Oh.
I can never have too much blood.
You're not playing Rev? $251? Oh. For some reason I thought it was 254.
Why don't you just obey?
I don't get why is Cherry Strat banned for normal but not for hardcore? What? You mean Shield Strat? Wait. Hold on. Oh yeah, it says using it. Wait. Am I crazy or this is different wording than it used to be, right? It used to say you're not allowed to use this perk at all. Now it just says using it in combination with the ballistic knife. Except for speedruns. Meaning... It's been that way for a while now. No, no, like this. Okay, well that's stupid, first of all. It should just be on the rules page and not here. In addition, like, it shouldn't only be here. Whatever. It's been like that? I didn't realize. So what I'm seeing is I am allowed to do this for 200 speedruns. Right? They're doing a huge rules rewrite soon? Great. Sure that'll go as great as the last one. I could submit this for 200 speedrun. That's, okay. Yeah, I don't have a time. I could always go back and retime it. I'm not going to. Will Knife Strap be unbanned soon? I would bet on it, personally. At least once I beat the world record, it'll definitely be unbanned.
Don't you know who I am?
Ban this guy. Me. Jake, no jug rev. I used to have the world record on no jug rev, specifically because the rules at one point said you're allowed to have purple perks. So I was like, why are we allowed to have purple perks on like the no, or it wasn't no jug, it was no perks, but we were allowed to have purple perks. And I was like, why is that allowed? And I got the world record. You were playing Ascension, but you kept having outside spawns when running Pap Strat, even on 70+. I would have to see how you're playing to see how I could advise you on how to not have that happen. Just really make sure you're getting inside the Pap room and staying in there long enough. Unless you're playing BO3, in which case, run power. Want to rob my game as soon as possible? Yes. That's why I started playing as soon as you finished. Actually, I mean, why do I have to wait? Bang. New world record, everyone. Sorry, Mex. It's cool that you got to 300. I got to 438. Skill issue. Alright, fine. When you were playing B-Gamer, it was fine, but now since you're on Pluto, it's not as consistent. I don't know, Jake, would you happen to know? Faking. No, it's real. My dad works for Microsoft. JZM, how rare is getting the wave gun from the QEDs on Black Ops 1? It is as rare as every single other weapon out of the QEDs. Basically, the QEDs, when it decides what weapon to give you, it actually just takes it out of the pool of available weapons from the box. So, if no player has the QEDs, if the box isn't offering... Or, sorry, if no player has the wave gun and the box isn't offering it, then... As long as you get the weapon power-up, it can give you QEDs. So it would have to be how rare is the weapon power-up compared to the rest of the power-ups, how rare is getting a power-up at all, and one in however many weapons are in the box. You started Classified a week ago, now Venom's came back. Is he also playing Classified? That's funny. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's a nuke! There's a nuke! I have to go around! This will... I might be responsible and say this is the last round I'm going to play. He used to? Yeah. Is he playing Classified right now, or... I know he messaged Jake the other day. I gotta message him and see how he's doing.
Did you even see that? I am on fire!
Quit on 95. Didn't Venom's Blood of the Dead game take over a year? Was that the game that... What? I thought it wasn't Venom's. It was someone else who had their game take like 11 months. It wasn't Venom's, I don't think. Technically, next round could be a dog round. Now that I think about it. Blood of the Dead was like 7 months. Someone's game took like 11 months. Not on, maybe it wasn't Blood of the Dead, maybe it was the 9 game. Daybreak 468 was? Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I haven't. It was Daybreak? My temporal isn't ready. What the hell? Also, I need to, fuck, what's happening? I can't get close right now. Ah, what a wasted insta-kill. Like, if I go down there to buy ammo, I'm gonna Dying Wish. That sucks. Venom's is Tom Fantasy Jr. Don't die at Insta? Yeah. I'm not trying to Dying Wish. I've already had 5 of them. My temporal wasn't ready. It's so rude. You had 5? Yeah, I've had 5 Dying Wish uses. One of them was this stream. After you left.
I do
You had 5 dying wish uses to 304 and 2 of them in 1 round? So I'm doing worse than you? Damn. Gaming, hello. I'm moving out of my apartment today. I need a carpenter now. My shield's gonna break. How's the grind? The grind is going good. Slowly but surely. This is probably gonna be the last round I play today. If next round is a dog round, then I'll end on 185, otherwise 184. But I'll see what time it is. I might have some time.
Just so you know. I just follow me.
I'm not going to be able to fill up my specialist before that goes away, so I'm just going to grab it. Does anyone want not safe for work perk icons for Black Ops 2? I don't. When are you back at the old place full time? Hopefully tonight. I'm picking up the U-Haul in an hour and a half, and then driving into the city. I was like, I kind of want to get this out of the way, which is funny because I'm working in the city all day tomorrow. So would have been nicer to sleep there, but I just need to get this done.
Just by me. Just clearing out the riffraff.
Do I want a rainbow screen overlay? Nah, I'm good. I have the only overlay I'll ever need. Boop. It's the only overlay I ever care about. Just like that, I went from round 183 to round 439. Is that right? Or is that bad math? Yeah, that's 439. New world record by 135 rounds. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. Faking? Yeah, I'm cheating. You got me. It only appears when I'm low on health? Oh, for Black Ops 2, you mean? Oh, shit. Two times in less than 30 minutes. Yeah. I'm just a cheater, what can I say? I'm a dirty cheater. Look at the strategy I'm playing. This is basically cheating. Ban this guy's whole account. Ban every record ever. Also, please give me a dog round next round. For Black Ops 2, I'm good. I have a big folder of resources and overlays and stuff for Black Ops 1 and 2. But I am generally a purist of, like, the only thing I change is round change music, and I change my perk icons on Black Ops 1 to match Black Ops 3. But I like Black Ops 2's perk icons. I don't change anything else aesthetically about the game. Ban. Yep. Don't worry, guys. My dad works at Activision. You can't ban me. These zombies need to get out of my way so I can pull this specialist out. Like that. I don't have one because I don't need one. Let's see if I can... Yep. How can you kill with normal weapons these rounds? Isn't it jailbreak? Yeah. No, I'm definitely cheating. I'm hacking. It's round 183. The zombie's health should be too high that none of this should be able to kill. Like, how do I not even have a pack-a-punched weapon and I'm still killing the zombies? That doesn't make sense. If I had the Thunder Gun, that would make sense, but I don't have the Thunder Gun. Imagine if this map had the Apothicon Servant.
Why don't you just obey?
Dude, that grenade just went right through the floor. I'm telling you. There was no explosion. It just... into the ground. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, they don't get affected by that explosion. BO4 high rounds be like, realism round 100 when? You mean realistic? I've only played realistic like once or twice. I don't think I would be good at high rounding. Yeah, Treyarch only wants you killing with pack-a-punched weapons. That's why they made the VR11 only useful when it's pack-a-punched on co-op. Turn on power on 200. Power is on. I'm gonna turn on pack-a-punch in round 420. Can round 100 be achieved on realistic? I think it can. Hasn't somebody done it on, like, at least on, like, tag or something? It's been done, right? Right? I don't actually know. Fucking nade went through the floor. There are zombie maps and there's a great map. In your opinion, what are the things that make a map great? I think some of the greatest maps just have, like, variety in how you play over the course of the game. Like, when you're not exactly doing the same strategy the whole game, things like that. The reason I like Moon is because it's a difficult environment with a really, really fun wonder weapon. Like, the wave gun is just sick, objectively. The hacker is the best piece of equipment ever. So, you know, a good wonder weapon, a good piece of equipment, or specialist. And, like, a strategy that's intricate. You know, that's why I like Moon, that's why I like Shadows of Evil. It doesn't mean that they're hard maps necessarily, it just... Banger? Yes. Hello. Mario Kart World's OST is so good. I know. I can't get enough of it. I'm disappointed that they ruined online. Wonder if people are gonna start like boycotting the game. I just think that some of the greatest maps are just the ones with the location is really cool and the design of the map is based around the location. Like Gorod Krovi. The dragons are sick. Stalingrad is really cool. Like Moon. I think that Moon is awesome. Being a map where gravity and oxygen are a limited resource. That's such a cool like feature that makes the game more involved. Like you kind of have to learn what you're doing, understand the map. But even the chaos maps. I think that Voyage of Despair is not as bad as people make it out to be. I think the high round strategy is kind of bland, but I think theming wise, like Zombies on the Titanic is sick. I do think that Roman Colosseum is a lot better. I think that 9 is an amazing map. Dead of the Night's one of those, like, Victorian Mansion is a cool setting, the high rounds just suck. Ancient Evil's such a good map. The setting and the environment does a lot to make a map fun, along with the Wonder Weapon. Phasmo update, BO4 players came back, I guess. Gaming event at the city where you live. A lot is going on.
I do wish I had time to assess your wounds, but I have to cause more. Don't you know who I am?
Ooh, listen to this. I love watching the zombies on the fence just get blown all the way back. Alright, that's round. I kind of want to wait to see if it's going to be a dog round. Because if it's a dog round, I'm going to finish the round and then end the stream. And if it's not a dog round, I'm probably still going to end the stream. Please be a dog round. Yay! Okay. Ending the stream on 185.
One at a time, my four-legged fiends!
Very nice. Alright, it's time to end the stream. I gotta go. I have a lot of moving to do. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.